Hello UPSC aspirants, welcome back to another learning video. In my last video lecture on optional English literature, I talked about an important metaphysical poet, John Donne, prescribed in your paper 1. So, in my last video lecture, I tried to introduce John Donne as an important metaphysical poet. I tried to talk about how John Donne is an important metaphysical poet. I also tried to introduce 5 poems by John Donne that are prescribed in your syllabi. Here's a little snippet of all the 5 poems by John Donne prescribed in your syllabi from our last video. Coming back to our syllabi, we have 5 poems by John Donne. The first one is called Canonization, wherein Donne says, "For God's sake, hold your tongue and let me laugh, or child my palsy or my gout. My 5 grey hairs a ruined fortune flout." The second poem by Donne is called Death Be Not Proud, wherein Donne says, he begins the poem like this, he says, "Death be not proud, though some have called thee mighty and dreadful, for thou art not so." The third poem by Donne is called The Good Morrow. Donne opens this poem with a lot of love in his heart for his beloved. He says, "I wonder by my troth, what thou and I did till we laughed. Were we not weaned till then, but sucked on country pleasures childishly?" The fourth poem is called On His Mistress Going to Bed. And the fifth one is called Relic, wherein he says, "When my grave is broke up again, some second guest to entertain." So these are our 5 poems by John Donne. 1, we have Canonization. 2, we have Death Be Not Proud. 3, we have The Good Morrow. 4, we have On His Mistress Going to Bed. And 5, we have The Relic. How is today's video important for us? So I'm going to release this full-fledged audio library on all the poems by John Donne prescribed in your syllabi in this video. How is this audio library going to help us? Listening is the first language skill, is the most important language skill that we acquire, and 85% of what we learn is by listening. Now, being a lecturer myself, my ultimate recommendation for the students is that there is really nothing, and trust me on that note, nothing better than your own reading of the text. This audio library may help you understand your syllabi comprehensively. But then at the end of the day, your own reading of the text will help you understand the process completely and properly. Always remember that your own reading of the text, your own subjective reading of the text, your own personalized reading of the text is the key of the entire process, is the truth of the entire process, is the reality of the entire process. Without any further delay, I will read all the 5 poems by John Donne prescribed in your syllabi, line by line for you. Come, read along with me. So the first poem that we have is The Canonization. Donne begins this poem like this. He says, "For God's sake, hold your tongue and let me laugh, or chide my palsy or my gout. My 5 grey hairs or ruined fortune flout. With wealth your state, your mind with arts improve. Take your course, get to your place, observe his honour or his grace. Are the king's real or stemmed face, contemplate what you will approve, so you will let me love. Alas, alas, who's injured by my love, what merchant's ship have my sighs drowned? Who says my tears have overflowed his ground? When did my coals a forward spring remove? When did the heats which my veins fill add 1 or 2 the plaguey will? Soldiers find wars and lawyers find out still. Litigious men which quarrels move, though she and I do love. Call us what you will, we are made such by love. Call her one, me another fly. We are tapers too, and at our own coast die. And we in us find the eagle and the dove, the phoenix riddle hath more wit. By us we two, being one, are it. So to one neutral thing, both sexes fit, we die and rise the same and prove mysterious by this love. We can die by it, if not live by love, and if unfit for tombs and earth, our legend be, it will be fit for verse. And if no piece of chronicle we prove, we'll build in sonnets pretty rooms. As well a well-wrought urn becomes, the greatest ashes is of acre tombs, and by these hymns all shall approve us canonized for love. And thus invoke us, you whom reverend love made one another's hermitage, you to whom love was peace that now is rage, who did the whole world's soul contract and drove into the glasses of your eyes. So made such mirrors and such spies, they did all to you epitomize. Countries, towns, codes beg from above a pattern of your love. Our second poem is called Death, Be Not Proud. Death, be not proud, though some have called thee mighty and dreadful, for thou art not so. For those whom thou thinkest thou dost overthrow, die not, poor death, nor yet canst thou kill me. From rest and sleep, which but thy pictures be, much pleasure then from thee much more must flow, and soonest our best men with thee do go, rest of their bones and souls delivery. Thou art slave to fate, John's, kings and desperate men, and dost with poison, war and sickness dwell. And poppy or charms can make us sleep as well, and better than thy stroke, why swellest thou then? One short sleep past, we wake eternally, and death shall be no more. Death, thou shalt die. Our third poem is called The Good Morrow. I wonder, by my troth, what thou and I did till we loved. Were we not weaned till then, but sucked on country pleasures childishly? Or snorted we in the seven sleepers' den? 'Twas so, but this all pleasures fancies be. If ever any beauty I did see, which I desired and got, it was but a dream of thee. And now, good morrow to our waking souls, which watch not one another out of fear, for love, all love of other sides controls, and makes one little room and everywhere. Let sea discoverers to new worlds have gone, let maps to other worlds on worlds have shown. Let us possess one world, each hath one and is one. My face in thine eye, thine in mine appears, and true plain hearts do in the faces rest. Where can we find two better hemispheres, without sharp north, without declining west? Whatever dies was not mixed equally, if our two loves be one, or thou and I, love so alike that none do slacken, none can die. Our next poem is called To His Mistress Going to Bed. Come, madam, come, all rest my powers defy. Until I labor, I in labor lie. The foe of times, having the foe in sight, is tired with standing, though he never fight. Off with that girdle, like heaven's zone glacering, but a far fairer world encompassing. Unpin that spangled breastplate which you wear, that the eyes of busy fools may be stopped there. Unlace yourself, for that harmonious chime tells me from you that now it is bedtime. Off with that happy busk which I envy, that still can be and still can stand so nigh. Your gown going off, such beauteous state reveals, as when from flowery meads the hill's shadow steals. Off with that wiry cornet and shoe, the hairy diadem which on you doth grow. Now off with those shoes, and then safely tread in this love's hallowed temple, this soft bed. In such white robes, heaven's angels used to be received by men. Thou angel bringest with thee a heaven like Muhammad's paradise. And though ill spirits walk in white, we easily know by this these angels from an evil sprite. Those set our hairs, but these are flesh upright. License my roving hands and let them go, before, behind, between, above, below. O my America, my new-found land, my kingdom safeliest when with one man manned. My mine of precious stones, my empire, how blessed am I in this discovering thee. To enter in these bonds is to be free. Then where my hand is set, my seal shall be full nakedness. All joys are due to thee, as souls embodied, bodies enclothed must be, to taste whole joys. Gems which you women use are like Atlanta's ball cast in men's views, that when a fool's eye lighteth on a gem, his earthly soul may covet theirs, not them. Like pictures or like books gay coverings made, for laymen are all women thus arrayed. Themselves are mystic books, which only we, whom their imputed grace will dignify, must see revealed. Then, since that I may know as liberally as to a midwife shew thyself, cast all yet this white linen hence. There is no penance due to innocence. To teach thee, I am naked first. Why then, what needest thou have more covering than a man? Our last poem by Donne is called The Relic. When my grave is broke up again, some second guest to entertain, for graves have learned that woman had to be to more than one a bed, and he that digs it spoils a bracelet of bright hair about the bone. Will he not let us alone, and think that there a loving couple lies, who thought that this device might be some way to make their souls at the last busy day meet at this grave and make a little stay? If this fall in a time or land where misdevotion doth command, then he that digs us up will bring us to the bishop and the king to make us relics. Then thou shalt be a Mary Magdalene, and I something else thereby. All women shall adore us, and some men, and since at such time miracles are sought, I would have that age by this paper taught what miracles we harmless lovers wrought. First, we loved well and faithfully, yet knew not what we loved, nor why. Difference of sex no more we knew than our guardian angels do. Coming and going, we perchance might kiss, but not between those meals. Our hands never touched the seals, which nature injured by late law sets free. These miracles we did, but now, alas, all measure and all language I should pass, should I tell what a miracle she was.